Hotline. This is the Herald Washington Post 1987 Hotline TV show, and we're going to turn it over to that fantastic commander.
Good evening, everyone, and I'd like to welcome you to our show tonight. As always, it's a nice topic this evening, and we have a very special guest here, and her name is Beverly A. Fitch, and she deals with the veterans, and she's a veteran trainer. And it's a lot of things that you need to know. And all you have to do is ask. And we're asking you to call in at 312-378-1060. And that's to the hotline. So please call in when you get a chance to. And at this time, I would like to introduce her to you. Keep talking, Trevor.
Welcome to the show, Beverly.
Thank
Nice
you.
to have you here.
Nice to meet you.
Folks out there in television land, this young lady is so remarkable, we had to get her on the air. And if you're talking about as a soldier, making a transition back into the civilian world, this is the lady you need to know. Beverly, welcome to the show once again.
Thank you once
Tell
again.
us about this fantastic organization, Operation Job Ready for Veterans.
Operation Job Ready Veterans is a nonprofit organization.
Okay.
I'm a case manager and trainer here for the Chicagoland area. We are headquartered out of Indianapolis, Indiana. So what we do is we bridge transitional gaps, whatever that gap may be. Sometimes it's not always a service member coming back and wanting to go from active duty to civilian life.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a service member dealing with PTSD. It could be the family. You know, not only do we as soldiers, airmen, raise our right hand, we take the oath, but our families do as well.
Yes.
So they go through a lot of the same things that we do. So we're here to service the military community and military families.
Now, do you find that even though I'm not a soldier, but I'm the soldier's wife, husband, child, can I also suffer from that thing? What do you call it? PTSD.
PTSD. There are, dealing with a service member that comes back with various issues.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that family goes through a transition as well.
And do we know what caused this to happen when you're overseas?
Well, I'm not necessarily a psychiatrist, but
Okay.
we know that soldiers suffer from PTSD. Traumatic brain injuries, other mental illnesses as a result of deployments, and it tends to have an effect on the families when they come home. So it's an adjustment for everybody.
Okay, now, if I have a job and I leave the job to go to deployment, do I still have the same rights to that job when I come back?
Yes, it does depend on your employer, but are you speaking specifically about reservists and National Guardmen?
Yes.
Yeah, well, they are entitled to their employment. The only thing the employer does not have to guarantee them is the same position, but they do have to guarantee them the same salary.
Okay.
They can, and I'm just using a very simple example. Let's say you were a computer tech. When you come back, they had to hire somebody because you were deployed for a long period of time. Well, they can bring you back as a receptionist, but they have to bring you back with that same salary that you left beforehand.
Now, what is the track record of the organization you're working for? And we folks want you to know it is a non-for-profit organization.
Well, I got hired with the organization in May of this past year. We have the Call of Duty endowment, the people that make the video games. So when they hired me, they had two hires.
Sorry about that.
No, things happen. We had 2 hires in the Chicagoland area, and I was one of them. As of today, we are at about 56 to 58 hires, and our goal was 50. So we've already met and exceeded our mission. So just to give you a little background about myself, I served in the Army 22 years. Most of my time, I was a recruiter here in the Chicagoland area. So as a recruiter, to get people to join, I had to explain to them all the benefits and things they would be entitled to once they got out of the military. Well, because I had experienced it myself, it was easy to talk about that. But once I retired, I found out that a lot of things I was telling people really weren't at my feet like I anticipated to.
Okay.
So that's part of the transition issue also.
Now, I like the fact that you decided to spend 22 years in the military. And what I say to most young people, The best thing you can do is go into the military, spend 20 years in the military. You come out at the age of 40.
Yeah, just about if you join the
Okay. You got your pension,
True.
and you can get a job almost anywhere.
Well, and see, that's part of the transition.
Yes.
We're told that we can get jobs anywhere because of federal employment, but, the economy really depends that and dictates how that runs. So that wasn't the case. I was told the same thing.
Okay.
And there was a lot of things that I had to go through trying to find employment. So I won't say that jobs are readily available. What I will say is that...
Oh, we have a caller. Go ahead, caller.
Oh, hi. My name is Sharon, and I was calling to see about your organization. Just what do you do as far as with the veterans? Because I'm with the auxiliary, and we always run into veterans that need some type of training.
Okay, so what we do is we host a 5-day seminar. It's free to veterans, their family, and their dependents, and like if they have dependent children. What we do is we prepare them for that transition into employment. So we help with resume building, value proposition statement, which is basically an elevator speech. But what we try to do first and foremost is deal with that transitional piece. So the first day we talk about what transition means, what it means to that specific veteran, that specific spouse, or even that child. We do that through a course of assessments, and it gives a person an opportunity to really get an idea of what it is that they want to do. For instance, like I said, I was a recruiter in the Army. A lot of times we join the military and we may not get that job that we were really seeking, but that's the career path that we had. Now we get out, it's like, I don't want to be a mechanic anymore. I want to do something else. I've had numerous deployments. So what we try to do through those assessments is find out what that veteran would be best suited to, and either they have to go back to school for training, or sometimes just because of the attributes and the skill sets they have, they are able to transition into another career field.
And one thing we can say about Illinois, you have the military scholarship here in Illinois.
Right.
So put it this way, there is no excuse for a veteran not to go to school when the money's there to pay for him to go to school, or her.
Right, but we also have to, like I said, through the assessments, you also have to recognize, because you have to be to thy own self be true. You have to be able to say, there are some people, I don't care how many years you served in the military, colleges may not be for you.
Trade school, probably.
Maybe a trade school, or
Yes.
maybe that may not be for you. We have a lot of people when we've hosted a few seminars here in the Chicagoland area. I've actually referred members out to the Veterans Business Outreach through the Small Business Association, because there are enough people, they have enough skill set that they could probably go into their own consulting business. So it can be a rediscovery of who you are as well through the 5-day seminar.
Are you connected with this that I've seen on TV here for the recently, where they have this trade where they can become, I think it looks like welding and things like that, but it's for veterans?
No, we're Operation Job Ready Veterans. What we do, like I said, we do more resume building and helping soldiers with transitional issues. Now, at the end of our 5-day seminar, what we do is we do host a mini job fair, so we can have anywhere between 5 to 15 employers. So people that participate in the seminar, on the 5th day, we have a mini graduation, and then after that, they're able to meet with employers. But as a case manager, my job is to follow up with these service members and veterans to find out how their search for employment is going. And because of my recruiting background, the other thing I do is once I know their skill sets, as I'm establishing rapport and relationship with employers, I could call somebody, let's say from AAR, and say, hey, I have a guy that retired from the Navy. He's a prior service recruiter. You're looking for recruiters. This might be a candidate that you're interested. That's what we do. We don't actually host training seminars, but there are certain schools and colleges that we do partnership with that come to our seminars. They speak to our veterans and their family members and can tell them about some of the programs, and that would be up to the veteran if they want to take advantage or not.
Now, we have another caller. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Thank you.
My name's Ray, and I'm a 69-year-old Vietnam vet.
Thank you for your service.
Don't thank me. That's my pride and my respect for the country that I love.
I appreciate that.
Okay, listen. Let me run this by you. People who never worked a day in their lives get Section 8, housing, welfare, food stamps. Why can't a veteran get 30% of that, of all the programs that the United States has? It's only, we're not begging for nothing, but we protected this country for the people. So why can't we get a little bit of recognition? We're getting a little bit of food stamps, getting a little bit of this and that.
Well, sir, let me answer that this way. In America, and hear me when I say this, if you don't vote and have enough people who think like you and vote along them lines and vote for candidates who's going to espouse your concern, nothing is going to happen.
You're
Okay.
exactly right. I vote every time there's time to vote. Hey, I love this country.
Well, I think we all love this
But I
country.
don't like
It's a fantastic country,
Sure.
but it does have some issues.
If the country's doing anything for us veterans, they should let us get into every program to serve. And believe me, all my friends and my family and everybody, vote. We got, like you said, though, we got to get out to the vote.
Yes, and and as veterans, we have to stick together. You know, among veterans, we're divided. Okay, we're in both camps, and the other 50% that's in the other camp who don't think like we think is part of the problem. And as long as that other 50% keep thinking the way they think, because see, they think you don't deserve to get anything. Hear me when I say that.
Yes, you would think that they were in the service and they could only go one way.
Yes.
But no, this country of ours is split. But I want to tell you this. Come on, veterans. Let's stick together.
Yes.
And if we stick together,
Yes.
we can change anything that we want.
You got that right.
Even like being in the Army, and I'm sure it speaks to all service, we say never leave a fallen comrade. And even through our organization at Operation Job Ready Veterans, when we do have the seminar, if there's a service member in need of food stamps, they're looking for housing, we can refer them to certain programs that help veterans with that. So there are programs out there that do assist veterans
But see,
with food and
part
things
of
of
the
that nature.
problem in Illinois right now, we have a different administration who don't want to see the little guy get anything.
Mm-hmm.
We got veterans who was getting over $100-something a month in food stamp. Now they get $16. Same as our seniors.
Mm-hmm.
They used to get $100-something. Now they're getting $16 because the position of the other group feel like the New Deal need to go out the window. And as long as you got folks out there who want to take the New Deal and kick it out the window, they want to take away all the safety net programs. So, again, it comes back to if you don't get off your butt and vote, you're going to get what you're getting. And that's nothing. Now, getting back to you. Your organization is so fantastic. You don't have a brick and mortar building in Illinois, but yet you're able to go around the state and put on different events.
Within the state. So normally what I try to do, I'm also a Legionnaire member. I'm an adjutant on my post.
Okay.
So what I try to do is reach out to American Legion posts, VFW posts, things of that nature that will assist us in putting on seminars. And then maybe somebody will give me some office space, hopefully.
Okay.
Because even though, I work from home and it has its perks, I don't feel that I'm not serving veterans to the fullest potential if there's not a place where they can come find me.
Right.
Because I don't want you knocking on my door. So, if there's not a place they can come find me. So
Okay.
I'm trying to network with people.
Yes.
And as people see that we are making a positive impact, one service member at a time, one veteran at a time, one business owner at a time, then, maybe there'll be people that will be willing to give us space, and maybe one day we'll be able to actually have an office here in the Chicagoland area.
Mm-hmm. Now, what if Post 104 want to sponsor you, what would be the process?
They can just call me. We do have a social media and marketing person at our headquarters in Indianapolis who would assist in helping us recruit for a seminar. We try to have our seminars be no more than maybe 15 people because we want it to be as transparent as it can for the veteran or that family member. And we want to make sure that everybody gets the maximum impact out of the seminar. So we try to keep it relatively
what is your
small.
number that they can reach you at since you're a nonprofit?
They can reach me at 312-636-9777. 312-636-9777.
Now, you was telling us that you got something fantastic going on in Orland Park.
Correct.
And talk a little bit about that project.
So I have been recruiting locations for the coming up fiscal year. We will be having a seminar in the Village of Orland Park. It will be at their Cultural Center from January the 22nd to January the 26th. So anybody that's interested can call me once again at 312-636-9777. On the 5th day, like I said, we have a mini graduation, and you're able to get in front of employers and utilize the skills that you've learned over the course of the past few days. In February, we're actually in conjunction with the United States Recruiting Battalion in Chicago, which when I was in the Army, I was a recruiter for that battalion. We will be putting on a job fair at the Sergeant Robinson's Reserve Center, which is located at 7400 South Pulaski in Chicago. That's going to be February 21st. We are working out the kinks. You can always go to our website as things develop and check it out. So there will be a huge job fair on that day. And in March, I want to say the third week in March, we will be at Prairie State Community College. And I am working with some churches in the Chicagoland area that are interested in putting on job fairs. So you can always go to our website, which is operationjobreadyveterans.org to get information, or you can call me at my number.
Now, if a person wants to sponsor you, what is the process they have to go through, and what do they have to put up to sponsor you?
Because we are a non-profit, we're always interested in sponsorship. That would all get channeled through our Indianapolis headquarters. So usually when I talk to people in the community, I always ask for either in-kind donations or sponsorship. I have had people come, email me and tell me they're interested in sponsorship, and I refer them to Linda Kosh in Indianapolis.
Food,
Right.
paperwork, copying stuff like that. Okay. Folks out there in television land, you veterans, when you come back from overseas during your time of duty, it is a big transition. And what Beverly is telling you is that they have a systematical program that you need to take advantage of. Because when you come back and you have no place to go, she's telling you you now have a place to go, which is so important because when I came back, I didn't have this type of service. Okay? I didn't know who to go to. And when I started school, they told me, well, you can go see the veteran recruiter on campus. Because back in the 70s, I think almost every college had a veteran affairs office. And it might still be that way today, but not as
After post 9/11, you start seeing them more and more on campuses. So.
But folks, take advantage. Take advantage, our veterans. Because we have so many veterans that's homeless, out of work, and they have
Or
issues.
even underemployed.
Or unemployed.
Because a lot of times corporations try to downplay our skill set.
Yes.
And they always want to start us out like entry-level position. But a lot of us, if you've been a sergeant or higher, you have project management skills, you have negotiating skills. There's so many skill sets and assets that we bring to an employer, and we're trying to get employers to recognize this.
Yes.
A lot of our veterans, because I do go to a lot of the various hiring fairs, that's how I network and find employers that might be interested in working with our organization. And there are a lot of service members that don't even know how to go properly dressed to some of these events. And it's because some of them, when you join a military right out of high school, you don't think about a suit.
Right.
You wear a camouflage every day for so many
Yes.
years. So we do have referral services that can help veterans if they don't have the finances to dress for success, if you will. We can get you referred that way as well. So that's another thing we do also. And another thing, if I may, that I find a lot of veterans, we speak in our language.
Mm-hmm.
An employer doesn't understand that. So what we do is we try to break that, because that is transition also.
Mm-hmm.
You can talk about how you worked on a Humvee and things of that nature, and an HR manager's looking at you like, what are you talking about? Or sometimes,
Or a tank.
sometimes we can invisibly put a weapon in our hand.
Yes.
So sometimes there's pictures that we paint as veterans to a hiring manager that can be a barrier as well. So we deal with some of those issues, like when you're on an interview, how to answer certain questions, so you're not having this person paint a picture of somebody that's going to bring a grenade to work or something of that nature. So.
Well, when you went through boot camp, did you have them 16?
Mm-hmm. I was an expert.
Oh,
Wildfire
check
expert.
her out, folks. She was an expert.
I was an expert riflesman.
You threw the hand grenade?
Yes, I threw a hand grenade.
Okay.
There's no difference in gender. We're all soldiers. So whatever you
See
did,
that?
I
That's
had
right.
to do. So.
Yes, that is so true. Look, walk us through a typical veteran come to your office. And we're talking about a hypothetical situation. What process does that person have to go through?
Well, it's not necessarily a process, because like I said, one, I don't have an office, but sometimes veterans are referred to me. Like I said, as a recruiter, I keep in contact with a lot of soldiers that that enlisted under me. So if they know of a soldier that's in need of services, they refer them to me. And what do you need? Well, I don't know how to put a resume together. Well, I can help you do that. Or I keep interviewing for jobs, but I'm not getting hired.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go through a set of interview questions, and try to figure out how you're answering these questions. Or if you were to I give them a list of questions and said, show me a question on this sheet that if it was asked on an interview, you wouldn't know how to answer it. So we try to go through things of that nature. So like I said, we get them as prepared as much as we possibly can. So when they get to that point, hopefully they're going into that interview with a certain amount of confidence.
Is there a new way to do resumes now? Instead of 2 or 3 pages, it's a 1-page resume?
It's generally a 1-page resume. No HR manager. Well, first of all, let's backtrack. We have a caller.
Go ahead, caller.
Yes, how you doing?
You on the air.
Yes, how you doing today?
Great,
How you
great.
doing?
Go ahead.
This started Pig from Hal Washington Post, 1987.
Okay.
Okay.
I was just calling everything regards and everything what the gentleman was talking about earlier
Yes.
about trying to get help and everything, and we can't get help.
Yes.
Trying to get help from the different organizations. And I was just listening at you when you was talking and everything about how we were getting food stamp service back here. They was giving us this $100, and they broke us down to $16. I remember and everything. I was getting $200, and they broke me down to $16. It's a bad situation how the government is doing us and everything now.
Let me say this to you, caller. You can't blame the government for doing it to you, because when you don't get up and vote and make that difference, this is what you get. We already know as veterans, there are certain folks who don't want us to have anything. And because they don't want us to have anything, then we have to be on the lookout for these type of people. And I thank you for your call.
I go over there and vote every year.
Hey, thank you for doing that. But we need more people like you. Beverly, I want you to know that it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
When you're having fun, times fly.
Yes, it does.